Once again, it's Darren Freedom Green, your host for Trentonian.com. Once all of our interviews go up on the global web, which is Trentonian.com, you can tune in and see them there. We also put them up on Facebook. It's a page called Freedom. And also each of our guests has a Facebook page, and we put the interview there as well. It's informative, dealing with serious topics and issues, things that people are going through that are relative to our lives on a day-to-day basis. I have two great guests today, really three. We're going to sub one in, but nobody had to know our business but us. But anyway, we're going to bring them on. It's a real serious topic, and we want the public to get involved, play a part of bringing some resolution to this issue, educate people about what's going on, specifically to the young man and his family, and be a part of helping them move towards resolving the issue, healing, and hopefully recovery. So I want to introduce both of them and bring them on. We can begin the interview. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Don't start now. Introduce yourself.
My name is Tammy Wright. I'm Trenton native for about 45 years thus far.
All right. And you are?
I am Kendra Lynch. I'm related to Tammy by my mother and her mother are sisters, and my nephew is the main reason why we're here today.
Okay. Okay. So your son?
Yes, my son Brandon Sinchak.
Okay. Let's give some insight on what's going on with him.
Well, the reason for me being here today, just to give you a little brief synopsis of what's going on with him and bring awareness. My son was diagnosed with a rare cancer called sarcoma, which there, from what I understand, are 11 different kinds of cancer. His is very rare. His is so rare where they don't even know how to treat it. The ratio that we were given from 95 to 5%, my son falls in the 5%. We were told the first case they seen like his was on a 67-year-old white man. And then to see it on a 26-year-old healthy young black man, it literally has them scratching their head on what's going on with him.
Okay, okay. Where are you at in regards to the treatment itself and what's going on with that and what happens to him on a daily basis?
Well, from the very beginning, I just wanted to briefly say this. It actually all begun from a lump on his leg that he pretty much ignored.
Okay. Okay.
And I just want to say to our men, not just black men, but men alike, that you really, really need to be up on your health and be aware of what's going on in your body and on your body. And at the time, me and my son wasn't living together.
Okay.
And we're very close. I have twin boys.
Okay.
We talk about absolutely everything.
Okay.
Their girlfriends hate that. But we talk about absolutely everything. And for this particular reason, my son grew a little lump on the inner thigh in his leg. Never mentioned it to me.
Okay.
And this went on for months, almost to a year. One day we were down at the house where he was living, and he says, "Mom, I need you to make me an appointment. I have a little bump on my leg." I said, "Okay, let me see it."
Right.
And he says, "Oh, no, it ain't about nothing." A week later, he came down to my house, and he came to do laundry, and he was in his boxers and his T-shirt, and we were in the laundry area, and I said, "You know what, let me see this lump you're talking about." He said, "No." I said, "Let me see it." He lifts up his boxers. I literally, not to be facetious, I thought it was his testicle. That's how big it was.
Wow.
It was fleshly. You know, it didn't look, it wasn't discolored or anything, and I just began to freak out.
Right.
And I started screaming at him. I began to cry. He says, "Mom, what's wrong? Why are you tripping?" I'm like, "Are you crazy?"
Right.
I said, "What is that?" I said, "If anything, early detection."
Right.
Early detection mean everything.
Yeah.
Regardless whether or not we don't know if it's nothing or not. Early detection is everything. How could you let something grow in your body to succumb to that size?
Right.
So he, you know, after going back and forth, I told him to get dressed. We went to the hospital.
Okay.
Immediately, I took him to the hospital, and they gave us an appointment to biopsy it. A week later, we came back. We were told it was cancer.
Okay.
And the ball has been rolling ever since. And I say an uphill battle, but it's been a battle from there on, and I have pictures. I don't want to display them right now, but on the next occasion I will.
Right.
They're very graphic.
Okay.
They're very graphic, and you wouldn't think that one could literally walk around with this thing on them, because this cancer is so aggressive that from one day to the next, I see a difference. I can look at him and change his wound, and the next day he has something different.
Right.
Or the next day it grew bigger.
Okay.
I never witnessed anything like that in my life.
Okay. Okay. So now with it being diagnosed and treated, are you being treated locally?
Well, no. We have This is the third hospital,
Okay.
the third facility that we have inquired about. The first one, we were out in the area where I live. We went to Virtual Memorial, which was just pretty much a variety hospital. They didn't specialize in cancer itself.
Okay.
And when we first went and they first found that it was cancer, we were told that his type of cancer wouldn't react to chemotherapy.
Okay.
So we're going to radiate the area, kill all the cells, and, you know, go on and live a happy life. My son got if I'm not mistaken, about 6 weeks of radiation, and he didn't react to it till his last 2 weeks, which was amazing.
Right.
He began to get the side effects, which was it burnt him very bad.
Okay.
His leg began to secrete. He couldn't wear clothes. He had to
Okay.
wear a towel wrapped around him.
In the area.
Yes.
Okay.
It just literally wrapped around him. He couldn't wear underwear, nothing. He just would wear a towel. One day he even went outside with his towel and his Timbs on,
Okay.
and went to go visit his friends. Yeah, that's my son.
Okay.
But you know, getting back to the point, after that was all done, and through the process of his radiation that we were told that was going to fix it, relying in conventional medicine, he formed a nodule, a little tiny knot up by his groin area, and he mentioned it to me.
Okay.
And when I felt it, it was a little bump, and they said maybe it's from all the radiation business that's going on down there.
Right.
And it got bigger. I watched it. It got bigger. Weeks
Okay.
later, they biopsied it, and they found out that it was cancer. And we was told by the doctor, oh, sarcoma doesn't usually work like that. So respectfully, I said, no disrespect, so who are you, the cancer god?
Right.
Now you know the way that this cancer is supposed to operate.
Right.
And it's been rolling ever since in that area. Actually, it's been up and down from his thigh to his groin area.
Wow. Okay. So, what's your part in this? Because you're not gonna sit here and look cool all day long.
I'm here to support my cousin in any way that she needs. Unfortunately, you know, as black people and family, like we only get together for, you know, certain occasions.
I agree.
And I knew that this issue was going on with him, but I didn't know how serious it was. You
Okay.
know, I thought that I knew he had a couple radiation treatments or what have you, and
Right.
I knew that, you know, I assumed, which, you know, what they say about assuming, but
Right.
I assumed that he was better.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Facebook, my cousin she made a post on Facebook which said something to the fact that, you know, her son isn't doing that well. She's trying to get a different kind of treatment for him.
Okay.
And she was trying to raise funds for him.
Okay.
So and other people's response was, oh my God, R.I.P. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Hold on, let me call my cousin. What's going on?
Right.
So I called her. She's like, no. She was like, I said, oh, because I'm like, I know somebody would have called me directly, you know, if it was really that severe. So I immediately told her, whatever you need me to do, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
You know, you need flyers done. We're going to get this out here. We're going to promote this. We're going to try to get as much funds we can get so that he can get whatever treatment he needs. I said,
Okay.
it's my little cousin. You know,
Okay.
it's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? For one, I'm about to get emotional.
Don't get emotional.
For him to be as young, you know, with kids, you know, and he's a good guy. You know,
Right,
he's not
right.
involved in gangs or anything, never been in no serious trouble.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, wow. You know, just out of nowhere. It's just random. So, so far, what we've been doing, we've been promoting him as much as we can. Myself, we have a few other people on our team, or our committee, we want to call it, Brandon's Fund Committee.
Okay.
We have Crystal, we have Priscilla, we have Kamei, her sister Kim
Okay.
Wright, and we have Tosh.
Okay.
And all of us, we play like different parts, different
Okay.
roles in this. And like I said, anybody that wants to help or can help or contribute anything, you know, we accept it all.
Okay.
We don't turn anything down.
Okay. So we're now getting diagnosed. We're treating the disease. So you're now doing fundraising and events. Let's talk a little bit about that so the public can know how to tie themselves into what you're doing going forward.
Okay, if I may come back a little and reiterate how Kendra got to where she is. The reason for the motivation for the fundraising, When the radiation did not work, and we were told that after telling us that sarcoma patients reject chemotherapy, they went, because of my son being 26, very very healthy, besides what he's going through now, they said, well, there's a 20% chance that chemo will work.
Okay.
So we let the doctors know a 20% ratio is not high enough.
Right.
Even though in the very beginning we X'd out chemo altogether.
Okay.
Because when they first spoke on chemo, and this is where the awareness comes from, because they spoke chemo, and because they are the ones with the degrees, and they wear the white coats, I wasn't just convinced. I took it upon myself to hit my computer and begin to research what this chemo was about.
Right.
And when I put the word out to some of my friends, I was getting text messages, I was getting emails. I got this from Johns Hopkins, I got this, and I read on this. And when I began to read about this chemotherapy, legal poison. Straight poison. Some chemotherapies are so strong where it could literally burn a hole through your body.
Wow.
And I mean, it caused me, this situation has not only caused me, his mother, but everybody that's associated with him and in our family and around us to literally open up our minds and study.
Right.
Because most of us as people, we just don't read.
No, you're right.
We just don't read.
I agree.
I mean, you put a picture up here. When people saw his picture on Facebook, and when you wear pictures on shirts, they think it's a RIP.
Right.
But that's not what the case is.
Right.
You know, so it caused me to study, and along with me studying, I began to get all this information. I said, oh, no way. I will not allow you to give us a 20% ratio to shoot my son up with poison that's going to kill his good cells, his immune system,
Right.
won't allow him to be around his children, just take away his life.
Right.
You know, along with this so-called cure, which all chemotherapy does is suppresses the issue. You may have people that are in remission that are considered cancer-free for 10 years or 5 years or 8 years. Is because it's off the radar.
Right.
It's not cured. It's laying dormant in their body.
Right.
And when they go to get tested or scanned, the disease itself is off the radar. That's why you hear people say they're in remission and they're cancer-free, but years later they come back, oh, it came back. It was never gone.
Right.
So with that being said, we decided to look into more holistic, more healthy. And what motivated me was, after the radiation didn't work, we went to go see a doctor who had supposed to have been setting us up for chemotherapy appointments. We were running late. We had a couple of issues going on. My son gets into the room. I wasn't there. When I walked in, I noticed this tension in the room. So my son did not tell me this until we left this hospital, and God knows it was God. When we left, my son said to me, Mom, do you know what he said to me? First time ever meeting the doctor. The doctor didn't come in and shake his hand, introduce himself, nothing. He said to my son, you think someone with a life-threatening disease would learn how to be on time?
Wow.
That's what he said to my son. And as we were talking, he began to tell, my son asked him, can he get some Ensure? He says, why do you want that? It's nasty. My son said, because it helps me with my appetite. He said, well, you're a young, healthy kid. Eat 3,000 calories a day. My point is, the doctor was reacting like he was about to go into his pocket to pull out his checkbook to write us a check, more or less write a prescription. He was giving us a hard time because we wanted Ensure. My son said, well, I have insurance. My insurance will pay for the Ensure. Can I have a prescription? So he says, well, you know, the Ensure tastes bad. And my son said, well, to be honest with you, Doc, I used to be an avid weed smoker. I know, and that used to help me with my appetite. I no longer smoke weed, so I need something to boost me up until I get where I need to go. So as the conversation was taking place, he sighed and said, oh, well. He pulled out his prescription pad. I said, Doc, while we're on this conversation, I brought some information up to him because I studied. I said, how come you guys don't prescribe a healthy diet? Because from what I see, this medicine is the Band-Aid. I said the cure is healthy eating, alkalining the body, oxygenating the body, eating hot food and high alkalines. I began to say these things to this doctor on everything. The doctor turned around, put his hand up like this and said, I will not entertain that conversation right now.
Wow.
And I was more than appalled. I was appalled. I was married. I was floored. I'm like, seriously? At that point, I was ready to wrap up that session, and I was ready to get out. And when I left, that was the last time they saw me at that hospital.
The reason why is because if they tell you all those good things to do, then they wouldn't have a job.
Oh, they would lose money, of course, because it's not big medicine. The bottom line is big medicine is about big money. It's not about the individual care of the patient. It's not about the welfare of the patient. Strictly about money.
Okay.
I found that out firsthand.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason why we're coming with this fundraising, because again, briefly, in my research, we looked up so many different holistic places that do holistic treatment, and we heard testimonials and stories and so forth. But we found this place in Tijuana, Mexico, that's called the Gerson Institute, and they do holistic healing. Nothing but food off the land. Mm-hmm. It's the earth that hurts you, so it's going to be the earth that heals you. You know, and we need that because it's an institute that's going to be catering to him around the clock. So and it costs $5,000 a week. And they expect their patients to stay at least a 2-week stay, and then they do home care. But the $5,000 includes him and myself. And we're trying to raise money because we need to get there.
Okay.
And we need to get there ASAP.
Okay, so what functions are you doing, and what do you have coming up so the public can get involved?
Right now we have a all-black affair. It consists of a variety show, different local acts that will be performing. We're going to be serving dinner.
Okay.
And we're going to be doing a few raffles, and we're going to be selling these lovely T-shirts, as you can see, that was created by Bertina Barnes.
Okay.
And her little company is Anointed Inc. And this is just something to put along with the monies that we're trying to raise. And one thing that I can say, this is going to be at the Hollowbrook Center, 320 Hollowbrook Drive, out in Ewing, New Jersey, and the tickets are going to be $20 in advance, which we are at the Marriott every day selling tickets up until the event, and it's going to be $30 at the door. Because if you can't make it down from 2 weeks ago up until now to get your $20 ticket, you deserve to pay $30 at the door. So I just would ask everybody to come out and support. This is just one of many.
Okay.
Because we will be having a Laugh So I Can Live comedy show at the Trenton Marriott on the 16th of February next month.
Okay, we'll bring you back for that.
Okay.
So right now we pretty much have his diagnosis in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And the events now are to fundraise so we can get him where we know he can get the proper holistic treatment.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's where we are with things?
Yes.
Is there some contact information as we wrap up? People can reach out, get a hold of you, support the movement, support the events.
Yes, she'll give you the contact information.
They can hit us on Facebook, of course, Tammy Wright, look her up, Kendra Lynch. We also have a general email, which is brandonfund3486@gmail.com. That's BRANDONFUND 3486. And we also can use 609-949-3052. If anyone wants to talk to Tammy directly to find out any information, in regards to his, funds or the cancer or anything.
We also have a bakery that's being done in his name, that's being operated by Crystal.
Okay, we'll bring Crystal.
Okay, by Crystal, and when she found out, once I put it on Facebook, the support was just pretty much overwhelming, with people that saying that they were praying and if I need help. But one thing about me, I'm a doer. I'm a talker, but I do more than I'm a doer, and I appreciate people that are workers, because at the end of the day, doesn't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. And the team that I have assembled are just young ladies that seen the cause and they just came together. Crystal, me and her, we're not bound by blood, but we're bound by love. Knew her all her life, and she considered me as aunt and Brandon as cousin, and she came on board wholeheartedly, like, what is it I can do? The next day she had a post up with all his baked goods, and she called the BSB, Brandon Sweet Bakery, and she's been rolling ever since.
Okay.
And made deliveries and everything.
Okay, we'll bring her on next. Okay, so right now this is the first part of the interview. We're here with two phenomenal individuals that are working on the benefit of Brandon and the disease that he's dealing with. They're looking to fundraise and get monies in place so that he can get where he needs to go to in terms of getting the holistic treatment that will allow him to recover. Let's not let this young man's life be a waste. Let's make sure we work collectively together to get him where he needs to be so he can recover and get back amongst his family, and more importantly, his children, and get back to living a life so he can take care of them. Once again, it's Darren Freedom Green. We're back doing the interviews live again with the Trentonian.com. You can find us on the internet at Trentonian.com. Also on FB, which is Facebook. There's a page called Freedom. All the interviews are there. And all of our guests will give their personal information. The interviews will be up on their pages themselves. And then you'll have an opportunity to chime in and support the movement, the cause, and what they're doing. We have another great guest on now. And she's going to explain what she's doing in part of this process.
Okay, well, first, my name is Crystal Rao.
Okay.
I'm a lone resident from Mill Hill. I actually grew up with Brandon, and we actually played in the sandbox together. So taking it back, all the way back. I know him like 2 flats on a Cadillac.
Okay,
like.
there it is.
So I love Brandon like a brother. We've been through a lot of things as children growing up to adults. So I feel like I know him better than a lot of people.
Okay.
And that's like a brother to me, so anything I can personally do, I'm just all for it.
Okay.
So me basically, I went to school for bakery, so I'm just like sticking it to the original baking, grandma recipes. Like I love to bake, and that's something I enjoy doing, and I know that I wouldn't get tired of doing it, and I would be more motivated by doing so. So I originally came up with this Brandon Sweet Bakery.
Okay.
So we got the BSB.
Okay.
I make deliveries for $10 or more. I definitely cannot travel around the world
For $5.
So, but in the process, I'm if anybody wants to order something special, I can order. You know, I definitely can bake, so I probably can do anything. I'm up for the task. But as of right now, I'm baking like brownies with caramel walnuts,
Okay.
chocolate covered pretzels, white milk chocolate, cupcakes, cookies, all kinds of cookies.
Okay.
So I mean, if you got sweet, I could do sweet potato pies, homemade cakes, peach cobbler. It could get real serious. Because we talking about money right now.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to kill people's pockets. So I'm trying to do like reasonable pricing. And when I'm say so far, I had to raise like over $300 some.
Nice.
And with only in like, you want to say like 2 weeks, 3 weeks span.
Okay. So give them some of the price list so they can understand when they call out.
Okay, well my cupcakes are going for $2, and it's because they're homemade, made with care and love, and you definitely cannot go to Tiny People Bakery and buy a cupcake for $1.
Okay.
So I'm have to stick with my $2. And I have my brownies, they're nice square, big squares, they're $2. My pretzels are $1. I have mini brownies, they're $1. So it's like in a reasonable price. If you want a dozen of cookies, that's $5. And I have people purchase already 24 cupcakes, 42 cupcakes, and I charge just like the bakery, it's just homemade.
Okay.
So a 24 cupcakes going to cost you $25.
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving it to you like basically $1 a cupcake right there.
Okay.
So
No
I mean,
argument here.
you could get it. You could get a little.
Support the cause.
No
Yes,
doubt.
it's definitely a good cause.
Okay.
And I feel like if you can sit out here and buy bottles and all this type of stuff, you can support something that's positive. And I'm all for Brandon. I'm motivated. I literally don't feel good right now.
Right.
But I've been up baking. I have deliveries right now that I'm supposed to be at somebody's daycare at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
But you know,
You
they
handle
know
business here.
that I had to be here, so they understand. We're talking about little kids.
Okay.
But
So give them some contact information so they can reach out and get a hold of you in regards to making orders.
okay, well you can hit me up on Facebook at Crystal Miss Boss Rao. I'm Team Brandon, motivated to get this money. You can go to any TD Bank and add any kind of funds. You don't have to tell nobody $5, $2, whatever it is that you can do. We would greatly appreciate it. We take change. We take donations. I take cake mixes. My number is 609-977-2310. Call me. I'm picking up. I'm delivering. I'm here. And I'm running with Brandon all the way. till the wheels fall off. And when the wheels fall off, I'm walking with them until we get a new ride.
I know that's right.
Okay, anything you want to say to close out?
Well, I just wanted to say for all of you that would like to donate, no amount is too small, and no amount is definitely not too big. You can walk into any one of your TD Bank locations, and you can just go in and say you would like to donate under Brandon's Fund. And if they ask you the other signer's name, which is myself, Tammy Wright, you can just, all of you that know me and all of you that don't know me, I'm very reachable. And I just wanted to say all of your donations are definitely appreciated. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is not the last of me that you will see, because there's strength in numbers, and we gotta learn how to conquer this disease together. And it's all about feeding the temple the right foods, because they won't tell you that it's the food that you're eating that's killing you. And that's what it is. And I knew this before my research, but all you could say to yourself, how could something that tastes so good be so bad for you? But we have to learn to eat to live, not to live to eat. And that's where we make our mistakes at. So I just wanted to say I thank you for this opportunity and this time. Again, my name is Tammy Wright. You can hit me up on Facebook under Tammy Wright, or I can be reached at 609-949-3052. I'll be down at the Marriott Hotel from today on selling tickets for this event, which is $20. And again, you can go to any TD Bank location and make a charitable donation to Brandon's Fund. Any amount of monies would be greatly appreciated. And I just wanted to thank my team, Team Brandon, Priscilla, which is my promoter and my marketing coordinator, Kendra Lynch, which is my assistant, and I have Tosh that's assisting her in her duties, Crystal, which is the baker and my treasurer. I have Kamei Caver, which is his health facilitator, Kimberly Wright, which is another health facilitator, because like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to do what we're doing, because it's very time consuming, and it takes love and patience to do it.
All right. Very well said. I want to thank all of them for coming on. We'll be bringing them back and giving updates as we move forward. They're certainly going to have to do another event after this, so we'll bring them back and give the details again. This is a worthwhile cause. Again, a young man struggling with a very rare disease, but not that it's rare to us to come together and collectively work together to pour a lot of love in a situation that needs us to address it, so that we can move it towards resolution and get him the healing he needs from a holistic process. And in the process, we can all learn and become educated on how to better care for ourselves. And again, early diagnosis is the key to dealing with anything, disease or just regular maintenance of ourselves. So again, I want to thank all my guests for coming on, and we'll keep tuning in, and you stay tuned in. Check them at the Marriott daily. Come down and also go to the TD Banks and tie into this phenomenal cause and this movement. They're doing great things. Thank you.